So I discover Big Pun, we become rich, legitimately rich, like, you know, legally rich. And right at our prime, he dies. It's like, fuck. And everybody that you thought was your friend starts, he's over. He's done. Pun was better. He's never this. And so it hurt me so much, but it was God showing me that you really don't need to keep taking care of these people if they're not really with you and they're not the real deal. They're not there for you. I'm doing great. Pay all my taxes. I'm doing great. I get a new accountant. My accountant, his son became a quadriplegic, so he had to be with his son. So all my shit was straight. Then I get a new accountant. I'm sending them wire transfers every month to pay my taxes, pay my bills. This guy ain't paying for shit. I go to buy a car. They're like, yo, are you sitting down? I'm like, no. They like, well, it says here you won't pay for none of your mortgages, none of your mother's mortgages, none of your cars, none of this. Meanwhile, I've been giving them the money. No, the guy robbed me. Right. But I still had to pay that money back that he stole and then go to jail after I paid the money. Who's gonna be a successful 40-year-old rapper? You 40 in rap, you know, how many songs could we pull up with it, right?
Jay doing it now.
No, but he's doing it now, and then we're reinventing it. Me too. Right. Like I put out hits, but before that, that didn't exist.
Yeah.
So you had to like reinvent the wheel. And so I'm broke. I catch my best friend stealing from me for years. Once you start looking at your books forensically, you catch guys that you've been with every single day. You're the godfather of their kids, stealing your money and all that. Betrayal. There's no wall high enough to build for when somebody you love betrays you. It's just nothing you could do about that. You know, so it hits you right here like an invisible lightning rod. And so everywhere in my life, this shadow keep following me. Even to this day, recently, I found my accountant who's in the biggest firm. Every athlete you can name, every rapper you can name, just caught her stealing from me, millions of dollars. You understand? So I go through the shit again. But being that I went through that, I knew how to deal with this. I'm like, oh no, we gotta get the forensic real quick. We gotta sue these people. We gotta get ahead of this shit. You know? And most people, if that happened to you right now, you'd be like in the Matrix. Not me, I've been through this shit before. So, you know, breathe in and out and keep it pushing. But, you know, shit like that, you know, right now I'm at the best time of my life. We're doing great. You know, my family's good, we wealthy, you know, we're achieving a lot of things. Greatest asset could be used against you. The thing people admire you for and love you for, if people really study you, they could use that against you. What we're doing now with this media thing, two things is taking equity and power into our own hands. And number two is, this is what we call a commentating role now, where we just chime in and we talk about stuff because we have the experience. I hate getting it from people I can't prove that don't have the experience. And so this media thing, it's beautiful, but it's only right, even in hip hop. We've been watching it for a long time, TNT. We just watched what Charles Barkley just caught.
Hit him for 100.
He deserves it.
Yeah, he does.
Right? Now let's get back to the mad and the hate. Why would we hate on Charles Barkley? Right? If he got 100. There's somebody at a bar talking about why he got 100. Yo, is that your money?
Yep.
Why are you mad at this man?
And don't take it out of your pocket either.
And nobody's ever overpaid. You're worth what they pay you.
Bro, the Knicks signed Brunson. And I was in a barbershop and they were so mad. And I had to tell, I said, Poppy, let me ask you something. He said, yeah, Joe. It's in your money? Because you talking like it's in your money. It's not your money, huh?
Now you talk to him.
You're going to get it. I got to talk to him. You know, my man was Dominican. I'm in the Dominican barbershop. I'm like, yo, Poppy, it's in your money, huh? He said, no, Joe, that's not my money. But I said, why you worry? Why do you care? Is he better for the Knicks? Yes. Okay, that's it. Don't be mad at the guy because he got some money. And that's where we at. And years ago, we were led to believe that we couldn't take power or control into our own hands. It always felt like you had to have a boss. You had to have somebody you had to go to, or this and this and that. And that's not true. And that's where we at in life.
You know, people can go out now and read about your life, right? They're going to be able, like you said, there's going to be an audio book, but they can walk into a bookstore, get the book of Jose, and they can learn things about Fat Joe that, like even you said here, your family doesn't even know. I think one thing that's hard for men of power, for successful men, is to be vulnerable, right? It's to open themselves up to the world to be judged and critiqued, because we know that's what the world does. They want to tear success. They want to tear anybody down. They get the opportunity. What made now the right time for you to share your story with the world?
I didn't want to die and somebody else tell my story whack. And even if they think they knew,
right,
they get it wrong. And I had been watching. The only reason I got into like doing my show on IG and IG podcast and whatever we want to call it, was because I was watching a bunch of documentaries on hip hop and it was all lies. You know, I was there since I was born. And then when I watch who's the executive producer, these are people we respect, but they were shifting the narrative to make it look like they invented hip hop or whatever. And I was like, oh, this shit wrong. And so I said, if in the future, 50 years from now, if I'm not here, I want a kid 50 years from now to look up the Fat Joe joint and let Snoop Dogg tell you what happened at the Source Awards. Not somebody who is his lens, his perspective. And that's why it's so important for me to have a show like that. You know what I'm saying? And so with me, I wanted to tell my truth. I wanted to be transparent. I want somebody to read the book, and they don't have to be black or brown. They don't have to be of the hip hop community. You can read my book and get something out of it no matter what you are. You'll be a lady, a white lady, 50 years old, and just know, damn, this guy went through depression. His mother caught cancer, had 1%. His son is autistic. His brother dealt with drugs. The police tried to put him in jail so many times. And this guy, every time I see him, he still smiles. So this will let you know that your darkest moments don't mean you gotta be miserable, you gotta be depressed. You could always have a smile at the end of the day.
The 18-year-old Joey, arguing with his brothers about where to stash $2 million dope money. What would he say to Fat Joe now that's hosting TV shows, about to have a Showtime?
With Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore show, bruh. Like,
I got a better one for you. My brother was killed. My best friend ever on earth. It's the only tattoo. I don't really like tattoos. It's the only tattoo I got. Memory of Tony. And, you know, the other day I'm looking at a picture of him and I'm like, man, he's beautiful, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how much I love my best friend. I see a picture of him. I was like, damn, Tone was beautiful, man. My brother, beautiful. Let's say there is a rainbow, a light at the end of the tunnel where you die and you see all your friends and family, right? You know, I often think, I'll be like, is Tone gonna run up on me and be like, you did it. You did it, boy, you had it. Yo, that chick, I know what he gonna talk to. I know what Pun gonna talk to me about. Yeah. And so when you say the young Joe is bigger than me, I'm doing it for my people on another level, to where I want to be able to, when I do pass, if I see them in heaven, I want them to break it down and be like, bro, you killed that thing. You did it like this and that. A young Fat Joe, I knew I wanted to be rich. I knew I had dreams. Did I think I would ever get here? No. So there's really not much I could break down to a young Joey. Because even if I could come 50-year-old Joe talking to an 18-year-old Joe, I'd be like, man, you're going to go through some fucked up shit, bro. Just stay the course, because you're going to go through some shit.
You grinding with that second, third career for people that aren't even here anymore. You're not trying to impress people that you can see every day.
No, I'm not. That's a great analyzer. I don't even think about now. I think about when I die, 20, 30, 40 years from now after, you know, there's gonna be a kid that listens to Fat Joe and Big Pun without bias and be like, these motherfuckers was hard.
Yeah.
I'm watching it now. They got this thing on YouTube where it's young kids, probably even younger than him. They sit down, they be like, my friends always talk to me about Big Pun. I never heard him before. Let me see. And he comes on dead in the middle and they be like, holy shit. The I know Fat Joe, but I have fun watching that now. I'll be on YouTube and they watch Fat Joe's songs and all that. And they be like, oh shit. First time ever. They be like, yo, this is the first time. This shit is crazy. So I always think 50 years from now, after we gone and everything, somebody's gonna pick it up and they're gonna be like, yo, this guy was hard, you know? And the book is about courage.